So as you can see, we have a pretty standard rocket here. One engine for the first stage and another up here for the second stage. Now, the thing about rockets is they're basically just filled with fuel. They're missiles that go to space and carry a certain payload to space. Now, since they carry a lot of fuel, it's basically a controlled explosion. And what if that were to explode? That leaves this capsule, just anyone in it, unable to do it. And as you can see, I'd have to either click it to detach all of these and activate the parachute when needed. But what if we didn't have fast enough reflexes and the rocket would have just exploded with the capsule. So now we'll put an astronaut inside, and let's test this with the new coding I put in. So as with real life rockets, there is an abort system, at least for crewed vehicles. And this capsule in this game is based off of the Crew Dragon, which means it's got 4 or 8 engines and 2 in each of the 4 sections. Which means, if need be, it would either land or could abort and pull this away. So, as you can see, it's a completely normal fight, but all I'm going to do is explode this and not touch the keyboard, and I'll let the system do it by itself. As you can see, those 8 engines fire up and pull the aircraft away from the exploding rocket. As you can see, it's going flying away. Now it'll point the rocket retrograde so that the bottom is facing the atmosphere to help slow down, and if in re-entry, help keep the spaceship from actually exploding. Now, as you can see, the parachute hasn't opened yet. So, I set it to about 1 kilometer above sea level, or above ground level. Usually ground level, since if you landed anywhere on the world, you'd have to do it above there. As you can see, slow down, coming to about 1,000 meters now, and the parachute deploys. Brings it to a nice, steady 19 meters per second, which is a good speed for hitting water or land. So how I did that, I will now show you. So the program here has 2 different parts, and for this one, I'll be explaining the on part exploded. And I didn't know I could do that. But whenever a part is exploded, it sets the engines to ignite and the throttle to be set. It also switches the pitch to the right so that it goes away from the normal trajectory, waits 10 seconds, and then turns around, waits until atmosphere, and then activates the parachute, which is set to 2. So I'll be showing you how to do that now. So on start, we won't really need this until for the second part, but today's video we're going to be focusing on auto abort due to an explosion. So we'll get our first part, which will be our on part exploded. So when a part explodes, it'll just activate. So the first thing we're going to do is activate our activation group to true. Go down. I'm no means fully used to this, but I think I know what to do. So then we will set our pitch to halfway, or about 90 degrees to the right. And then we'll also set our set craft throttle to 1. And now this is all good, but now this means at this point the aircraft has detached from the main rocket and now is flying away. But we don't want it to immediately turn around and open the parachute while the engines are going. So these engines are made to run about 10 seconds or less. And then once we will wait until, now this is the variable part. We will wait until 2 different variables. Either if we have to pad abort, which means the rocket's exploding from the pad, we will activate that and fly up and away from the exploding rocket, as usual. But since we're on the ground, we will be under 1 kilometer, and the rocket won't fly up 1 kilometer. So, we will have it so that if it is less than 1,000 meters, that will mean you can do it. If it's not, then it won't let. And we'll set it as if it also equals 1 kilometer, so that once it activates when you hit 1 kilometer, it will. But we don't know what number we're computing here, so we have to put in our altitude from against ground level. And now that once it activates, once we're 1 kilometer through the atmosphere, we can now activate our set activation group 2, our parachute, to true. And there you go, that's basically all you need to do. We will save it as simple. I can't spell. And we will save it to our craft. And this works with any craft you could load in. Let's see. This one. Any of the ones I have also previously built. These are old ones I just got into this game again recently. But, as you can see here, we have our engine set to 1, so that when one activates, it fires them. And we also have the main detacher to the capsule set to 1, so it'll detach. And then 2 for the nose cone, and 2 for the parachute. So we could also manually press 1, but then it wouldn't automatically abort. So we could press 1 here, and it won't set the throttle to 100. We have to do that, and it won't automatically change it to there. But then we can kill the engines and manually turn it around and there and activate the parachutes. That was a manual abort, so if need be, the pilots or ground control could have done that. But in the case that they can't, that's why we have our Auto Abort system. Because if we know the rocket's gonna explode, we can manually do it. But if it explodes without us knowing, we're not gonna be able to do it. That's why we have this. So, see? Explode this tank. And the rocket gets pulled away, the other engine keeps going, but we're safe distance from it. Another few seconds, turn around, we're now at 1,500 meters, descending, speed up here, time, and here we come to 1,000 meters, parachute deploys. I did that all without touching the keyboard to control it in any way. So that's how you make a simplistic, just auto abort system for an explosion. Next video will be on when the rocket tips out of range, then it'll auto abort, like I showed earlier. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.